don't even know what you're talking about.
Listen, I never did a TikTok live before. I'm like, when it comes to TikTok, I might as well be my grandma. I think my grandma know how to work TikTok better than I do. Keeping
I'm
it real.
dead.
Huh?
I'm dead. Not your grandma don't know how to work better than you.
She do. She do. She be doing the most though.
Uh,
She be doing the absolute most. But listen, there is this grandma on TikTok. I like watching her lives. She's so sweet. Have you heard of Grandma Willie? She
no.
having like 900 people in there.
Really?
That
Now,
lady.
my cousin is on there. She's 83.
Mm.
Miss Grandma's garden. She be out there gardening, showing the talking about all her grandchildren. What is you doing, lady? But she got 1 million subscribers.
That's
Not
what
a
I'm
million
saying.
subscribers, but she got 1 million likes. No, 1 million likes, but she got a lot of subscribers.
Mhm.
Yeah, Miss Grandma's
Oh,
garden.
really? She got like 100,000 some followers, and she be having like 900 people in her live, including me. And she just be up there cooking and talking. She like 80 years old. And I was like, damn, she know how to work TikTok better than I do.
Mm-hmm. 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 Well, welcome. Okay, first of all, let me introduce this
Okay.
beautiful. I got so many questions. I don't even know where to start. This beautiful lady right here with this pen that is lethal, Miss BB Reid. Welcome to Pop Your Shit.
Is that what it's called? Pop your shit. I
Mm-hmm.
love that. You need to coin that. Put it on a t-shirt. Put it on some tote bags. Put it on what's the swag people be doing now? Pop sockets. Put it on everything.
Already done. We already popping our shit.
You where's mine? I need it in the extra
Send me
large.
your size and I'll send you one.
I need it in the extra large. Okay. Hey
Gotcha.
Daniel.
Gotcha. Hey Z Renee. So, ma'am, let's talk. Let's talk.
Okay.
Because your writing style is beautifully crazy. That makes sense. Is that bad? Because to me, it's a
No,
compliment.
no, it's good. Because
I
I
love it.
am on team. Yeah.
It's the ebbs and flows. It's and then the subject matter. I be like, wait a minute. So wait, hold on.
Wait, which book we talking about though? Because you got to be specific.
So I got introduced to you through In the Gray.
Mm.
I tried Lilac. I don't think I was in the mood for it. But
Mm.
now I'm going back to it. I mean, I read probably 25%. And
Yeah.
because I was in a book, I'm still in a book club.
Hmm.
I couldn't finish. So, but Lilac, baby, what's her name? What is baby girl name? She had them
But
all.
yeah, Braxton. Mm-hmm.
But she had them all. The whole band.
The whole band. Yeah.
What be going
Racking them
through your
up.
mind?
She's racking them up, huh?
What be going through your mind?
Why choose? That's what be going through my mind.
So okay, so when you're writing, do you like okay, I'm going to write a right choose, or do the characters just pretty much decide?
No, usually I know beforehand. Situations like, is there going to be like MM or FF in it? Usually comes while I'm writing. Like if I get that vibe, if I feel that chemistry between characters, usually I get that while writing. But I always know beforehand if it's going to be a watch choose or not. Although, I mean, that could always change because there have been a couple of times, like I even considered, it popped into my head briefly that if I did Rock and Demi's book, that it would be a watch choose with Golden. But then I was like, nah, because I want something else for him. But yeah, I usually know beforehand. But it's so much more fun like that because especially if I have a lot of different ideas for a hero or heroine, speaking of say so, and I can't like if I have like a lot of different character types or personalities, and I'm like, wow, they could all fit. But you know how sometimes a certain character type, like the things they do and say, it won't all fit into one character. that's why I like why writing why chooses a lot too, because then I get to have all these different character types, especially for the heroes, and I don't have to choose because it's like it's beneficial to the author too, where we don't have to choose on a one direction to go, one hero for the heroine. But yeah.
So can we talk about just in the grade for just a minute? That age gap. That was an age gap.
Yep.
Was that on purpose?
Well, yeah, I knew I wanted to do an age gap, but I didn't want to go crazy because at first I was uncomfortable with the fact that she was so young, which is why I created Demi's character. Like, you know how Demi turned out to be her cousin, and she's older. Demi's my age. She's 30. I'm 32. She's like 30 because I wanted her to have this older role model who will make sure that Atlas, being so young and green, well, not to say that Rowdy would do it, but that did pop into my head that, you know, he's so much older. He has so much more life experience. She doesn't really have any family, anybody looking out for her. So how can I make this so that there's always someone there who can put her up on game? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I created Demi's character, because it did make me like uncomfortable. Not necessarily the age gap, but the fact that Atlas was 19. You know? So Demi was one of the ways I kind of got around that uncomfortableness so that she could, but you know, Atlas was, I don't want to say she's mature for her age, but I also don't think that, you know, 19 for everyone means the same. You know,
It doesn't.
yeah.
It
So it's all
doesn't.
about like life experience, you know, and just because I got told a lot at 19 that, you know, people were always surprised that I wasn't older because they always say the same thing. Well, you carry yourself so well. Like, I'm so surprised you have all this going on for you and you have a head on your shoulders. And I heard it so much because I was kind of like ahead, not to pat myself too much on the back, like thinking ahead compared to my peers. So I agree. The age gap was huge. If I did an age gap, I probably wouldn't do one with her so young, or him, because it could also be a reverse, with her so young. But I think for this story, she had to be, you know, she definitely had to be. And then I was also listening to readers because there was a lot of discourse around what constitutes an age gap. Is it 5 years? Is it 10 years? How old they have to be? And honestly, a lot of what readers were saying also led me to say, okay, this is the right age gap where no matter what, everyone would consider an age gap and there's no confusion. Yeah.
I think that they would consider an age gap if it was reversed. If it was a man who was younger, it doesn't matter how much younger. It's still an age gap in their mind, whether they're the same age or not. She could be 6 months older, and she turns 32 on her birthday. He's still 31. They're going to consider that an age gap because society deems that the man should be a little bit older, a few years. But with women, well, that's not really an age gap if he's 5 years older. Well, it really is an age gap, especially if she's 19 and he's 23, because he's then considered a little bit older. He has a little bit more experience. He's, well, quote unquote, that's what he's supposed to be. But to me, with her mom playing a role in this, not really seeing the mom or hearing the mom, but the mom playing a role, she didn't know who her father, her potential father could be.
Yeah. And also, yeah, that was another thing. Like, it was simple math where, okay, if this is the story, if this is the plot twist, if this is the backstory and what led her there, then it needs to be a reasonable, like, I had to make him old enough that it was reasonable that him or one of the other kings had a child, you know, teen pregnancy at that age. So it just kind of naturally landed there. Yeah.
Okay, can you let me see this door right here?
Uh-huh.
See that door right there? I done slid down that door about 17 times reading in the gray. Baby, I slid down that door so many times. I was like, I know you lying. Then let me take the coup de grace. I probably fell out this chair. It might have been the old chair because I had to get a new chair because I done broke it.
Because of that?
I slid out this chair at the point where he went and got the old girl to come satisfy her because he didn't know if he was the pappy or not.
So you know what's funny? Ruin was the original heroine for in the grade, because in the grade the story that it turned out was not the original story I had planned. I don't remember quite what I had planned, but I know Ruin was supposed to be like straight out of jail. Like she went to jail for like a short time. I forgot for what. And she had to get a job. Like, so she applied there and started working there. And then her and Rowdy clashed. But then I thought like Ruin and Rowdy were kind of too similar. Like they were both like, I mean, I was a little cuckoo cuckoo too, but I felt like Ruin maybe matched his energy a little too much. Like she would have added fuel to the fire, whereas Atlas kind of calmed him and kind of like, you know, elevated him to a point where he's thinking ahead. He's thinking more maturely about things. Like he's still a crash out, but you know, now he has this woman who he wants to be better for. Whereas Ruin would have just added fuel to that fire. So, but yeah, she was the original heroine for Rowdy.
Is it hard to pivot? You have a question in chat, and I'm going to come back to that question. But is it ever hard to pivot when you just realize the characters are not mating well?
Luckily I realized it early enough when I was still in kind of like the plotting stage, because I usually start like I get an idea, I'll start with an outline, then I get excited and I just start writing the book. But I realized it early enough where it wasn't really hard to pivot. Like I only got maybe a few chapters in before I was like, this isn't working, because I kept getting blocked. And normally when I get blocked and I can't get around this because I'm trying to force a story that I'm not really into anymore. So it really wasn't that hard to pivot, but I liked the character of Ruin, so I decided to keep her, but as a side character. And then there was also, to me, when I wrote that first scene between Ruin and Atlas, there was a little chemistry there too. So I thought like, not a love triangle because it never got that far. It was very clear who Atlas was interested in. But I thought, you know, I would love Ruin to be there to antagonize Rowdy. I thought that would make for some funny moments, but I just love Ruin too much to scrap her completely. But it wasn't too hard to pivot, luckily, because I caught it early on that this is not the direction I wanted to go in anymore.
Okay. So you have a question.
Okay.
Are we going to get a book with Jimmy and Rock's story?
Yes. So I'm hoping to get to that next year, to go back to that world next year. There is, after Chrysalis, one more standalone that I want to write. It's going to be like a black stalker romance. Also, I have to put out Say So. Say So already exists, but I'm re-releasing it. So I'm hoping to get to it next year. And then Golden Story. I don't know which one I'm more excited about because I always wanted to do Single Dad. But yeah, Rock and Demi are coming.
So, I got a question in my DM. When are you?
Yeah.
No, in my text
I'm
message.
kind of scared she had to make it private.
No. What are you releasing? Say So.
That must be my cousin. Do you know my cousin called me the other day and was like, "Man, you said May. Where is Say So?" And I'm like, "Not you two. Not you two."
This is Shannon.
Shannon. I'm releasing Say So probably either next month or September. Cause like I got it to where I wanted it, but I still don't like it. And also, it's like I could not, like, at that point, like, I've been working on Say So for too long because it's supposed to come out, like, April, May. And, like, it's done, but I wasn't really satisfied with it. And, yeah, I could put it out anyway, but my integrity will never let me. Like, if I don't like the book, I'm not going to put it out. So I decided to sit on it for a little while, come back to it with fresh eyes, and work on Chrysalis because Say So was my working on Say So was kind of eating into me writing Chrysalis, so I had to set it aside for a while. But it's either going to be next month or when I'm finally done with Chrysalis or September. We'll see.
So, Crucible. I didn't get a chance to read it yet. It's on my TBR. For real, for real.
Okay.
But I'm waiting on book 2 so I can just read it all together. Sorry.
Y'all are killing me.
Sorry. Because I know it's going to be a long thick. It's like, I'm getting ready to go on hiatus. Pop Your Shit is going on. Season 1 ends at the end of this month.
Okay.
Well, I feel like with certain books, I don't want to have to rush to read it. Mm-hmm. Because I rush to read books right now. Like this month, I done probably read about 15 books. And it's only...
It must be nice. I haven't
read it. It's not nice. It's not
nice. Like, I remember days when I could read a book a day.
I mean, but you know what I mean? I want to be able to take my time.
Yeah, like, I always say, like, you read a book when you're meant to. Just like when you read Lilac, but you weren't really feeling it, and you come back to it. Like, I've had so many times where I read a book because, you know, I seen it, people were raving about it, and I was like, this is right up my alley. But then I read it, and I'm like, eh. And then I come back to it later. There was actually one series where it was like, it took me 2 times before I finally, and it became one of my favorites. Well, it used to be. It used to be. But, like, sometimes you read a book when you're meant to. If you force it, you're not going to get into it, you know?
Right.
So, don't force it. Read it when you're meant to. It's going to be there.
I done already bought it. It's on my shelf. I'm reading the book. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. I'm going to read the book. I'm just going to read it when I have time. I cannot process. I'm not being forced to read anything because I have deadlines. You know what I mean? So it's crunch time. So I've already read In the Gray. I read half of Lilac. I'm going to say probably half. Mm. And I know enough about it to have a conversation. Mm. And I'm very honest. I don't be professional to know everything, but I be wanting to know certain things. I was like, okay, this is what it is. So, because when I read, I don't know, the people that know me. I read. I don't be like hitting points. Oh, so we're going to talk about, no, we're going to talk about the book. Mm-hmm. So I'm very honest if I finished something or if I didn't. So, with that being said, let's ask a few questions.
Okay.
You answered it kind of, but I want to ask it in maybe a different way.
Okay.
Are you ever fearful or nervous about writing taboo subjects?
Oh yeah. I have fun while writing it, but then when it's time to share it, it's a completely different story because, like, for instance, like In the Gray, I wouldn't say in the Gray is taboo-ish because we all know how it ends, right? Mm-hmm. How it's resolved, but I do get nervous because how I intend for a book to sound and how a reader perceives it can be 2 different things. And so, especially now, writing taboo subjects can get you in a world of trouble. But also, like, when you later, a few years down the line, when I go back and I read, like, I don't usually read my books all the way through, but sometimes I'll go and try to refresh my memory. I just did it with In the Gray yesterday. And I read something and it's like, for instance, like reading Fear Me, which was my very first book. I wrote it when I was 21 years old. It wouldn't read the way it would today. So if I write something taboo where I'm taking an even greater chance, I think about 10 years down the line, am I going to really regret this? Even if everybody else is saying it's fine, like the way it sounds to me or the way it reads, or if my views no longer align with the book or with the subject, because anything can happen in that amount of time. But yes, I get nervous. Absolutely. And I think it's every author's responsibility to be nervous when approaching taboo subjects and dark romance, because this is something you are putting out into the world for people to be exposed to. So everyone should be nervous. Every author should be nervous when writing taboo subjects. Absolutely.
Is it easy to create morally gray or dark characters? Because it seems like you could just ease right on it.
Oh yeah, honestly, I love it. I love the toxic shit. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I have a lot of fun doing it because I write books purely for entertainment value. I'm not trying to sell a lifestyle. I'm not trying to sell anything but entertainment. And I also need to be entertained when writing because if I get bored, like authors get bored writing their own stories. Right. And I think for me, that's usually what takes me a long time too, is because I get bored often sometimes and I have to walk away from it. Especially if I can't figure out a way to get around it. Sometimes I get blocked, sometimes I'm just bored. I also abandon projects a lot too because I'm just like, I was excited about it, but now I'm not. But yeah,
But how do you keep the excitement going though?
You got to take chances. You have to take chances, and that's probably why I write like, I wouldn't call my books chaotic because I'm very meticulous when I'm writing, even if the subject matter itself is chaotic and unhinged. I have to write something that I probably wouldn't necessarily do in real life. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, Rowdy, I probably wouldn't date him in real life. I would have to smack him over the head with a frying pan. Like, I'd be in jail. I can probably say there's only one character that I've written. Well, I think two now because I love Seth a lot from Crucible. He was head over heels obsessed with Aurelia, but not in that super clingy way because I don't like clingy guys, but not in that super clingy. When you meet him, you'll understand why he was just like so adorable and precious to me, even though he was crazy. Like, but I feel like I said, I write books purely for entertainment value. Like, so I try to do the most exciting thing, something that'll make my blood rush. You know what I mean? Something that'll make my stomach dip, my blood rush, and be like, oh my God, you're crazy. Something that'll have me like jump up and laugh and I'm like, oh my God, or get me like that's like a visual representation of me writing a book. Like I'll write something, especially a scene or a sentence or whatever, and then I'll get so hyped, like I'll literally jump up and start pacing around my apartment because I just love it that much. So, and sometimes you just have to take it there, but also like keeping that responsible, knowing that you have the responsibility, you're going to be putting this out into the world to like not go too far, not to push a limit. And even I have my limits as well. Like it's far, but the limit is there. The limit exists. So for me, I walk away when I have to, but I don't allow myself to stay within the lines. I color all outside the motherfucker. Can we curse up here?
You sure can.
Okay. I stay all outside the motherfucker. So like, I give myself a limit. Obviously there are certain like subjects I will not touch. But I just try to remember that, you know, I'm trying to have fun. We're trying to have the reader have fun. Not to take anything I write too seriously, for one. And yeah, just fucking have fun. Shit.
Oh, but what do you say to the readers? I mean, not that you could say. I mean, you can say what you want to say. Let's start over. You can say what you want to say, and I know that authors try and keep a piece of decorum about themselves with the readers. But when the readers get out of line, because I be seeing some of the comments or some of the reviews that you guys are not tagged into, I just want to reach out and touch folk.
I do not have the grace to have any decorum when readers approach me sideways, which is why I don't spend a lot of time online. Because I know my limits. I know me. I'm 32 years old, but my mom still has to tell me to behave whenever, like, say we're on the phone and I'm, all right, I'm about to go to the store, and she says behave. And I'm like, I will if they will. Like, because I am a certified crash out, and I know that about myself. So, which is why I don't spend a lot of time online. And I honestly, some days I don't handle it. I don't handle it the same way every time. It just depends. Some days I got time today, and some days I rise above it. It just depends on what day you catch me on. But as far as reviews, I don't read reviews. I read like the ARC reviews just to make sure there are no spoilers. And I read reviews that people tag me in because you tagged me in it. You went out of your way to tag me in it, especially if you make this beautiful post or whatever. I take the time to read it, right? But even the negative ones, because again, you tagged me in it. But I don't get upset if someone tags me in a negative review. I get upset, but I don't get upset like publicly. I'm just like, damn, I could have went the rest of my life without knowing this, but thanks, I guess. But also, I've had 10 years at this, so it doesn't get to me as much anymore. But I just stay out of that space where I just don't invite that temptation to get upset over, because I know that not everyone is going to identify with everything I write. Even if it's someone who's been reading me for years and reads every single book that I write, they're not going to love everything I put out. Some things, people grow past what I'm writing, or
some people are not mature enough to understand what
yeah. And like, it's just, it happens. But as far as being rude, I get it. I don't get it as much as I used to, but I still get it, probably because I'm just not online chronically like I used to. But I don't know. I just don't check my DMs a lot. Because I kind of got PTSD from it a little bit because of the things people would message me. But Latoya said facts. Like, she know. Like, it depends on what day you catch me on. But I know I'm not that gracious. So I stay out the way as much as I can.
Fair. That's fair. And I think that most authors take the position that you do, and some authors, they decide to go to hell. Because I've been a reader for a very, very, very long time, probably since the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
But I really wasn't in it like I am now when I started this and I came over to TikTok. Mm-hmm. I was in a book club when we did all those stuff offline, and that was cool. But when I came over here, I found my tribe. So, and that's wonderful. But I think that sometimes readers, they have too much audacity, and sometimes authors, they be doing too much.
Yep.
Instead of saying, okay, I'm gonna let you have your negative review unless it's necessary, unless it's warranted. Because sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. And honestly, me staying offline as much as I can is also for the reader as much as it is for myself, because it's just the same with at a signing. At a signing, I have a resting bitch face, right? My face is like this. And I'm thinking about unicorns and rainbows, but I look mad. At a signing, I never let my smile drop, not even for a second, because I know how I look if I don't. And I don't ever want to come off as unapproachable. Readers spend their hard-earned money to come all this way to meet an author. I don't want to give them a bad experience. And I know I can't let my smile drop, which is why signings are incredibly draining for me, because I'm not a social person. Like, my best friend described me the best. She said I'm a turtle. Like, I'm an introvert, but I come out of my shell when I need to. Right. I can turn it on and off, right? I can become extroverted when needed, and then I have to turn that switch back off. And it is so mentally draining to me. And it's the same with online. Like, I try to watch what I say online, and I also limit my presence online, because there are a lot of readers out there, I've been doing this for 10 years, that enjoy my work. And I want to continue to let them enjoy my work without having this like umbrella over their head of hating me because of something I said or did or whatever the case. And it's not that I'm trying to hide the fact that I'm a bad person or something. It's just that you never know what I might say.
Your limitations.
Yeah.
That's it. You know your limitations. You know what you're gonna take and what you're not gonna take, and you know what's gonna push you over the edge, especially if you're having a good day or a bad day.
Yep. And I see a lot that gets me, like, I'll start writing a post, and then once I get it out, I'm able to delete it. Like sometimes you just need to say it. Like you know how you vent, and then once you vent, you just need to get it off your chest, and then it's over with. Like, but I never get to the point where I actually post it. But whenever there's a lot of drama going on in book world, that's when I disappear for a couple of weeks. Like if you go to my page and you notice, there are times I'll disappear for like 2 weeks or 2 months. And because you know, there's a time for activism, and then there's a time when I need to make sure I'm not taking away from readers everything that they have come to love about me and my book. You know, because not everything I need to put my 2 cents into. So I also limit my time online for readers too, because when they say like that phrase, never meet your heroes, not saying I'm anybody's hero, it's just the only phrase I can think of. I don't know. I just don't want to take that away from them. Like, can you imagine having read an author for years and years and years, supported everything they did, loved their books, and then that happened to me like last year with an author that, you know, I didn't even know her, never met her, never spoke to her. But I read all her stuff. And she, like, there was some stuff that came out, and her response, it had nothing to do with her. And she made this long post where she was making it was actually something to do that was harmful to the Black book community. And this white author had made this long post making it about her. And I was just like, well, that's disappointing.
Right.
And, you know, I was like, I tried reading her work again after that, because sometimes I can separate the art from the artist, but that hit a little too close to home, and I couldn't fuck with her no more. You know, there are instances like that where I don't know. I just don't want to take away from readers as much as I can, where I just limit my presence online.
I think sometimes we feel like, as readers, and I'm going to speak in the mind of a reader, not a podcaster, that we want all access to authors. Like, me and Latoya and Nicole, we are good, we are close.
Mm-hmm.
Other authors, me and Sharice C. Carr, we are good, we are close. And we met through this community. But sometimes we forget that this is a business.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we forget that authors are human.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we forget that authors may not value your same opinion.
Yeah.
And it can be hurtful for the reader. So sometimes readers, they feel like, because I've seen her online, she talked the same way I talk, and then she say one thing that pisses you off, you feel like you have the right to say something to her. No, baby. You do what you want to do, but also know that you might get that response that you don't want. You have to be mindful that everybody is everybody. Just because she put books out that she likes she may not be the person that you gonna kick it with, because you're so enamored with her writing style. Your writing style and your personality is two different people.
Yes. Yes. And I say that too as well, like the characters. I mean, my characters, for all the big stuff, right? My characters align with my views. Like, for instance, my characters would have never voted for Trump. Shit like that, right? It don't matter if they're white or black, and I've written both. But for like other stuff, I don't necessarily, even if I write it, I don't necessarily agree with what they're saying, but this is their story. This is their mindset. So even though they were born in my mind, it's not necessarily something that I agree with. I'm telling a story. And that story is not my own. And so, yes, I have encountered authors where they have beautiful writing, love their storytelling, and then it comes out that they are, in my view, a pretty crappy human being.
Right.
And depending on big or small, sometimes I can ignore it, separate art from artist, and sometimes I just can't. Like with that one author where I tried, and the whole time my nose and mouth were turned up because I just kept thinking about, it had nothing to do with her.
Right.
So I was so upset, and it was just like some shit you just need to close your mouth about because it ain't, like
Yeah.
there is a time to speak out, there's a time to be brave, and then there's a time when like you have to ask yourself, is it really that serious? Do you really need to say this? And also you need to give yourself time to think about what you're saying too.
And sometimes if you feel like you got to post it, just type
Mhm.
it out. But don't click send.
Like normally, once I finish typing it out and editing it and typing again, I'm like, all right, I feel better. I can go on now. Wait, what's that noise? What did I
So
do?
that somebody sent me a gift. So I have like a live, uh, I guess I have 50 little live gifts that I put up there to reach like a goal. And he's
Oh.
half of it. So once he gets to 80%, then it'll ring out again. So the readers or the people in the chat, they're sending me gifts. And so you see that 290, 291, they're sending you gifts.
Is that what that is?
Yes.
Oh, I always wonder because, like, one of the things I do, like, at night when I can't sleep, I watch random lives. I think that's probably how I found Grandma Willie. Like, I watch the most random lives. People I'm not even following, and they're just, like, doing stuff because I can't sleep, and I just like watching people. But I always wonder what, like, all the stuff you see popping up on the screen is.
It's a gift. So it really does equate to money. It's not a lot of money, but it's some money. So like, somebody might send me like a bouquet of flowers, or somebody might send me something. So that at the end of this live, it may equal to $2, $3, $4, $5, sometimes $20, sometimes $100, depending on how many gifts you rack up, how many likes your live have, that kind of stuff.
I kept telling my friend she need to start doing lives. She does hair. And I told her because she's trying to figure out a way to get her business, and I've been trying to get her to like, because you ever see those like TikTok lives when it's just girls doing hair, and I was like, so you already doing this every day? All you got to do is set up your camera,
Exactly, and just talk about it. Show people what you're doing.
and half the time they don't even be talking to the camera; they just be doing hair, and I'll be watching. I'll watch, like it just be the little things, but don't let me get too much off subject because
No, you're fine. You're fine. So, okay. So, I'm going to go to some of my older questions because inquiring minds want to know. I do.
Shut up, Toya.
Victoria don't have the sense that God gave her, and that's my girl right there.
Uh-huh.
You write, this is a question outside of that. You write everybody, every nationality, it seems like.
I hope to.
But when the other side, I'm going to say the other side, I'm trying to be as respectful as possible. When these people write us, they don't take the care and write us appropriately. How do you manage to write them and then write them with care?
Beta readers for one, but also I feel like I don't want to, because I like to give people grace, but I feel like it's not that difficult to not stereotype people and disrespect someone's culture. Yes, people can make mistakes. And when you make those mistakes, own up to it. Because I've made a few mistakes in my books. Like I said, like clarity, once you get that clarity 5-10 years down the road, that's why authors don't like to read their old works. And like one time I read something in one of my books and it made me sick to my stomach. And I was like, I know I did not write this. Like, how did I write this? And I was like trying to put myself in the mind of 22, 23-year-old BB Reid that wrote this. And it wasn't that big of a deal, but it turned my stomach, right? But I just, one, actually knowing people, like a white author trying to write a black character when they don't know any black people. They don't experience any part of our culture at any point, and yet you're trying to write. Like, I went to a predominantly white school. I don't have necessarily a lot of white friends, but I have put myself into those spaces where I just like to put myself in a lot of spaces, right? I like to be as open and broad as I want to, and a well-rounded individual. But when you're not a well-rounded person and you're trying to step out, and I applaud anyone for trying to step outside the box, but when you know you have this blindness, you need to take the proper time to do the research. And I have also offered to many white authors, and was like, listen, if you ever want me to read your book and help you, my doors are always open. Obviously, I can't offer that to every white author or every romance author out there because I don't know them all. But like, there's so many of us out there in book world who are willing to help. But beta readers, 1000%, and also opening my mind to other spaces and trying to broaden my knowledge of a culture beyond my own.
Right.
And it's very simple to do, but I just feel like when that happens, I think it happens with this kind of negligence where it's just like, and it's kind of like a shifty space to be in where you're trying not to stereotype a certain culture, but then you end up whitewashing them. And then you try to be as authentic as possible, and then you end up stereotyping them, and you have to find somewhere where you get that needle in the middle. It's a slippery slope to be on, and I like me writing white characters. I'm sure I've never gotten it right all the time. I've never seen any complaints. Then again, I don't read any reviews. I've never gotten any complaints, but I don't know.
I just think that, like, I was reading a particular book. It was Victoria C's book, Devil Wears Baccarat, and Alexander, I think it was Alexander, in the book one, his girlfriend, our love interest, was black. And he didn't understand black culture. Not that he had anything going on. He just thought she was beautiful and he wanted to get to know her. Mm-hmm. And so they were at a point where she had gotten sick before she got sick, he goes, "Why do you wear that thing on your head?" Mm. He didn't know what it was. He didn't know what a bonnet was. But she explained it to him and he understood. And that was the end of the conversation because he didn't know. Mm-hmm. But when she got sick and he was trying to help her go to bed, he went and got that damn bonnet and put it on her head.
Isn't that so simple?
It's right. But it wasn't that he was asking the question to be a smart ass. Mm-hmm. He was asking the question because he didn't know.
Exactly.
And he was trying to make sure that she was maintained the way she would do it herself, and she just couldn't do it herself. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes, I'm not saying all palm-colored authors do that. I'm saying that sometimes you generalize us so much that we all are the same. Mm-hmm. We're all loud, we all roll our necks, and we speak in Ebonics. Mm-hmm. Or we are just too agreeable. And I need them to
diversify.
Thank you.
And like, even me as a black author writing black characters, I even feel like I have to be careful because I have a black audience. I also have a white audience. I have an Hispanic audience. I have a lot of people in my audience, right? So I also have to be careful knowing who will be reading these books, not to stereotype us too much. And I was actually nervous. I was more nervous for In the Grave when I wrote it. I was more nervous about stereotyping us. But then In the Grave was the first black romance I had written and published. I also wanted to be careful not to whitewash these characters and disappoint black readers. You know, like why would you do that? So it is also a slippery slope for authors to be in because we also have to diversify ourselves as well. Like we have to show us in. Oh, that's great, Olivia. We have to show us in different lights. You know, we have to. We don't all speak the same. We
Right.
don't all have necessarily listen to the same music. We don't all necessarily have the same interests, and that's one of the things like I'm most excited to do is to show us in completely different lights. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
not every black hero I write is going to be a rowdy. And not every black heroine I write is going to be an Atlas or a Demi or Hunter and or Ocean or whatnot. Like Say So and Say So, Ocean is very like he's not necessarily mild mannered, but he's not rowdy. He's not like super crazy and unhinged and loud like Rowdy. He's super smooth. He's super suave. He's like he's kind of got like a firm but gentle touch way kind of way of doing things.
Right.
He wears the suits. You know, he's had a private education. He speaks different languages. Um, he's very cultivated. So, and I wanted, like, I thought it was important to show a black man in that light because there are many black men like that, you know? Just
Right.
like I thought it was important, like, when I wrote Tyra, that, you know, she was the valedictorian. She went on to school to be, you know, a doctor. And I don't know. I feel like it's our responsibility as well because I feel like it starts with us to show us in different lights. There's more than one way to write us.
Okay. Question. You write a mash of different genres. You kind of push them all together. You kind of defy what the rules are. Well, what society thinks the rules should be.
Hmm.
Is that by design? Because you can't just say she's a romance author. You could say she's this, she's that. Is that by design?
Yes, because going back to your earlier question, I get bored. I have my favorite kinds of books to write, like enemies to lovers. I love writing enemies to lovers, but authors can too easily get caught in a bubble. And some authors like to stay in their bubble. But one thing I've noticed is that because I'm well rounded in what I read, especially with romance, because I grew up reading urban fiction and like regular romance, like historical. I would read a historical romance about pirates or Scottish lairs, and then pick up Every Thug Needs a Lady by Wahida Clark. Like it would just flip flop back and forth like that. Yeah, Toya, definitely don't care about the rules. Like I want to write something for everyone. If I had one ultimate goal, it is to write a book or find a way into onto every reader's shelf and find an escape for every reader, no matter what you were looking for. And it's not, I would say, even though it's my ultimate goal, it's not something that I'm necessarily making a point to do. It's just, I feel like it comes naturally to me because I'm kind of like, I like diversity in everything. Like, partly because I get bored, but also because I'm really good at telling different kinds of stories. At least I like to think I am.
Hmm. Yeah, you are. You got it.
Thank you. But I definitely feel like it's very easy for authors to get caught in a bubble because when you write a book and readers are loving it and they just want more of it, right? And
Hmm.
then they want more of it and more of it. And then the author's thinking like, wow, this is really good. This has made me really popular. This has made me a lot of money. I'm just going to keep writing this thing. But then next thing you know, that's all you've written. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that can never be me because if I was caught writing the same thing over and over and over again, like I already take a long time to write. You'd never get a book out of me because I'd just be bored. So I definitely have to switch it up.
Okay. Someone asked, will you be writing horror?
Y'all think I would be good at horror?
She said she looking for it.
Listen, I'm open to it. You're talking about like erotica horror?
Oh, I don't know. That was a question in the chat. She just said, "Will you write for her?"
I mean, I'm open to it. I have no plans at this moment because the next genre I'm looking to get into is fantasy. And that's coming really soon, like really, really soon. Yes, I want to do black vampires first, and then I have to go into Fae. But yes, I have I'm in currently in the middle of plotting a black vampire series. Um but also another series that's connected to it, but it's not fantasy. I don't know how to explain it because I still don't understand it myself. Like an alternate series, alternate universe that's kind of connected. I don't even know. But yes, that is not spicy horror. But yeah, I am eager to, so like after I do next year is supposed to be Demi and Rock. And then I'm supposed to start. I'm not sure if I'm going to go directly into Golden or if I'm going to start with the fantasy series because I'm planning to dip in and out because I'm after this. I think after Men of the Wilds, I'm gonna do just doing complete standalones, even if they're in series. So I'm gonna stay away from cliffhangers for a little while, but yeah, I'm trying to like. I think eventually, sometime soon, I'll probably by the fall, I'll put out like a tentative release schedule so people know exactly what they're gonna be getting from me, at least for the next 2 years.
I'll be careful with that because people will hold you to it, and then you'll be like, "I don't really want to write that. It's not really coming together." And they be 50 white hot, baby. I wouldn't say 2 years. I might say next year.
Next year? At
Yeah.
least I should at least announce the book next year, like the series next year, like officially announce it. It has a name. I've named all the books. I'm still working on like because fantasy. If I'm gonna do something, I got to do it right. It's got to have this world building. I'm very excited about that. The world building, the plot. I actually think the fantasy series itself, like for the vampires, that might be a trilogy for one couple. But then the connected series will be like a series of standalones. But we shall see.
So let's just change the direction of this conversation just a quick minute.
Uh-huh.
Out of your characters, out of your catalog,
Hmm.
who would you smash, marry, or unalive? Since we can't say KILL.
Ooh. Okay. Who would I marry? I feel like the answer to that was Ren, but I love me some Seth. You gotta meet Seth. In Crucible, he's the fan favorite right now. Because he's just all about Aurelia. All hail Aurelia in Seth's mind, right? And I love me that kind of devotion. Um, what was the other one? Smash?
Yeah.
Rowdy. Rowdy for sure.
The way he had that lady in that coat closet. In that little utility closet, whatever it was called, in that little closet, he want her little ass out.
Rowdy the type to have your wig all askew, your lashes missing, you don't know your name, you don't know what year it is. Like, Rowdy.
Oh my goodness.
Rowdy for
And
sure.
who would you unalive?
Shit, I feel like that question. Can I fuck Rowdy and then unalive him? No, I can't unalive Rowdy. I love him. Um Keenan. Keenan from Broken Love. Because when I did a reread of that book, I felt like and goes back to what I was saying about when I read my older works, I felt like a disappointed parent the whole time I was reading Fearless. Because
But you, I don't understand that. Why are you so hard on yourself? Because that was your younger self. You've matured along the way.
yeah,
You have grown along the way.
yeah,
You
exactly.
can't be mad at your 22-year-old self.
Have you read For Us?
It doesn't matter.
Listen, no, I know, and that's why I was like, I try to avoid rereading my older books because I can be hard on myself. But then when I do book boxes and they want like details from the story, and I'm like, child, I wrote that 8, 9, 10 years ago. I don't know. Like somebody asked me a question about the parent of puppet, and they mentioned some minor character. I was like, what the fuck is that? Like they were asking me about a scene, and they was like, why does such and such in this right? And I was like, who the fuck is that? I legit had to like pick up my Kindle and search the name because I didn't know who they were talking about.
Wow.
Like, I don't know. Y'all got like a good 6 months to a year. It depends. If for a big question, I'll remember it, right? But when y'all ask me like the little tiny minors, I don't know what you're talking about, y'all. I don't know what you're talking about.
That was a while ago. You done moved on. You got other stories in your head.
It was like, and it'd be the most minor thing, and I'm like, that's what you want to ask me?
But sometimes the little minor things, it catches us.
And I'm like, okay, great. And I would love to answer the question like when the book first come out. But listen, after 6 months to a year, and you asked me a little tiny, I don't know what you're talking about. I like who? That was my legit. Like I was like, who the hell is that? I had to go into my Kindle and search the name. I had no idea who this lady was talking about.
That is hilarious.
And I was like, oh. He wasn't even a significant character.
That is
I was like, I thought that was so funny because it happens all the time.
8 or 9 years ago, you know who I don't understand who can do that? Latoya. I don't understand how she can go back and remember stuff.
Some stuff sticks in your head and some stuff just don't. Like I remember random little things about those books if it sticks out to me, but I can't remember all of it.
Are you ever like when you write and you be like, I'm gonna get them with this one?
Oh hell yeah. Mm-hmm. And it'd be so funny because like I'll walk away from a book that I'm writing for like a few days, hell, sometimes a few weeks if I get stuck on it, just to come back and give myself a fresh perspective. And I'll read something I wrote, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you saying? I like legit don't know what the hell is going on. And I'm like, there was this sound on TikTok that explained it. I think it was a Kevin Hart sound. Toya said, I only remember Fran, only the big stuff I remember. Yeah.
You be talking about it with me.
One or two random things, but they never ask questions about that. Like, give me an open book test. I don't know. I only wrote them. I only wrote the book.
I don't be like, you wrote the book. You be like, girl, I have moved on.
Sometimes I can't even remember what color their eyes are. And it's like, I used to write a lot of bonus scenes. And I went on hiatus for a couple of years after I wrote Lilac. It was an unintentional hiatus. I was blocked because Lilac was the best release I had ever had. Like it did phenomenally. And I just knew that book was going to bomb. I had so much anxiety before it came out because I was like, I wasn't really getting much traction when I was teasing. People were just kind of like, yeah, I see what you're saying. I guess I'll read it. And then it blew up, right? And then I was like, oh my God, I have never had a new release do this good before. I can't go back. I have to write something just as amazing. I tried to write Z's book and I got stuck. Because I felt like I was writing more out of obligation than like I still want to write it, but I kind of don't know him. But and I just got stuck. It was anxiety from having to like have a book perform as well as Lilac or better, and then also trying to like make myself like write something that I wasn't really into, and suddenly 2 years passed and I had not released a book. And I had kind of like a mental breakdown, and I packed up my apartment at the beginning of 2022, and I went on the road that entire year. Like I was just living out of my suitcase, traveling all over the world because I was like, and like we were fresh off of COVID too, so we weren't going out. We were on in quarantine, and I was blocked. It was the worst block I had ever had. Like everything was just, I just couldn't write. Like, and I was like, I have to go out there. I have to live. I have to experience new things. I have to do something because I wasn't getting anywhere. And I legit had a mental breakdown. I legit packed up my life and ran away. But it helped. It helped because I ended up coming off the road early because I wanted to write in the grave. And I was supposed to be writing while traveling, and I was, but I wasn't getting as much done as I wanted to. So I came off the road and I started working on In the Gray. And that's how I ended up here in Atlanta because I used to live in Charlotte, North Carolina. But yeah.
when you so how long is the process for you? Because you said that you take forever to write. Why is it that you're meticulous? Because even though your books are thickums, and you're gonna give us a thickum.
The crazy part is that the majority of my book, of any book that I write, especially like Lilac, I think I wrote 100K of that in like 3 weeks. But the first 70 took me months. So the way it works for me, hold on, I gotta turn on the light. It's getting a little dark. It don't want to turn on. So that didn't help at all. So like the beginning of my books are the slowest, and it's the hardest, where I have to I write a little bit, then I have to walk away from it. And sometimes me walking away from it can lead to me walking away from it for weeks. And because I don't know what the book needs. I don't like it. I don't know what it needs. And so a lot of times the best way for me to get over my hump, this block, is to do something completely unrelated. So sometimes the block lasts for a few hours. Sometimes it lasts for a day. Sometimes it lasts for weeks. But it's always the beginning that takes me the longest time. And then once I've got that worked out, because very often I will write the beginning, like In the Gray, I wrote the beginning of that book 3 to 4 times. By the time, I think it was the first 30K that I wrote 3 to 4 times. By the time I would have, this is my internet connection is, by the time I would have written that beginning, I would have had a whole book in that time. So it's always the beginning that takes me the longest. And then the middle to the end, I get it out just like that. I just have to get past that.
That initial.
Yeah.
Once you're over the hump, you're gone.
And it's especially hard for new characters because I'm just meeting these characters. I'm just learning who they are. And I always start off with what I want them to be, but then the characters take over. Right. And then they want something else. None of my books, not a single one of my books, the finished product is not what I initially intended for it to be. Case in point, I told you about In the Gray. Lilac, which was a rock star watch shoes, they were supposed to be amateur, OnlyFans type shit. And this was before I think OnlyFans was a thing. They were supposed to be amateur porn stars in college. But I didn't want to, I had just came off of doing When Rivals Play. And I was like, I don't want to do another school setting. I don't want to do more I wouldn't call them kids because they're in college, but I want to do something else. And it was maybe, and then this was when COVID hit, and I was like, okay, everybody's stuck in a house. Maybe I can take people, not just you have the first escape, which is reading a book, but then maybe I can give everyone, including myself, an additional escape by taking them around the world. I was like, okay, what profession can I give them that will have them traveling the world, that won't have them stuck in the office or stuck at home or stuck on a campus, that would have them moving around all over the place where they're stuck together, because I knew I wanted it to be forced proximity. They were stuck together and they were moving all around the place. And I was like, okay, make them musicians. Easy. Put them on a world tour. And that's how Lilac was born.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Because when I talk to y'all, you authors, I'm talking to you authors, everybody has a different process. And some people can write, they're good under pressure. Some people are it takes them a couple of weeks. Some people have to outline. Some people can just write out the seat of their pants. I be confused because the way y'all brains are wired is just crazy.
I need the pressure, but I also need the space. So once I figured out who the characters are and what I want from this story, and I'm happy and there's no turning back, there's no rewriting the beginning 57 times, that's when I announce the release date. Because the pressure of that release date, because I don't like pushing back a book release. It makes me feel and look so unprofessional. And it's not something I've taken lightly. Thankfully, it's not something I've done a lot, but that pressure, that set in deadline, not just the deadline I give myself, but that set in deadline, make sure that I'm locked in. I'm writing every day. I'm not just putting down a bullshit 30 words. I'm putting down 3,000 words a day or however many. So like for me, it's a bit of both. Like I need space initially to figure out what I want the story to be. And then after that, once I need to be locked in, I'll announce a release date because I know like people are expecting this book on this date. I've booked with my editors, all these things. I've got graphics with this date on it. Like the pressure helps me. I actually thought about starting to write while on live just to make sure my ass is stuck in a seat and writing to kind of have that pressure. And also making myself just a bit more accessible to readers as well. We'll see. I thought about it, but my writing process is kind of like every book is I wouldn't say it's chaotic, but every book needs something different from me.
Right.
But I will say one thing that's been consistent. I gain like 10 to 15 pounds every time I write a new book.
Yeah.
Being an author is bad for my waistline. I have no desire, time, or energy to cook, to eat healthy. Everything has to be fast. And also I eat like a toddler. I actually don't eat a ton of food, but I eat a ton of junk food. And so I might have a bag of freaking Chips Ahoy cookies for dinner or something like that. Like I eat like a toddler, like a straight up toddler. And I like keep gaining weight every time I release a book.
But what are 3 things you have to have in order to write?
It depends. If it's a productive writing day, I need to not be in front of the TV. I don't need quiet. I actually like being in public. So I used to go to Starbucks, but I'll go to like Panera, somewhere where I can write and I can people watch and look around and also not be distracted. Water, and I don't really listen to music like that, and a lot of times my phone will be off.
Are you a reader while you're reading or just while you're writing, or are you just a reader outside of it?
Yes, I do read, and a lot of times that helps me too. I won't read anything that I'm currently writing. So like if I'm writing a watch shoes, I probably will stay away from watch shoes because I don't want them to influence me. Or if I was planning to do something and then this author did it in their book and now I'm like, oh man, now I feel like I can't do it because now I feel like I'm copying them. My ego just won't let me. But yeah, a lot of times it will help me, especially fantasy, when I'm struggling with creatively. Like I can draw inspiration from a book that has nothing to do with mine. So it'll just, I don't really know how it works, but reading will sometimes get me out of a block too. So yeah, I don't read a ton while I'm writing, but reading helps.
Do you have a TBR list?
No.
Listen, that is a good thing.
There's only one book that I'm waiting on right now, and that's A Lancer by Jane Washington. But I probably have to, because it's Why Choose, so I'll have to wait to read it after I'm done. But if I had it to be read list, I'd forget it. Like I have a mental one, but I only ever realize that I'm meaning to read this book when I see it again.
Okay.
And I'm like kind of random where I'm a mood reader, so a 2 year list won't really help me at all. Because like I said, I can't force myself to read a book. I'm not really, you know, like
I know for me, I have to have palate cleansers. Like I just went on I've been in the streets. I've been in the streets bad. And if it ain't the streets, I'm in dark romance. If it ain't in dark romance, I'm somewhere else. But like if I can get a soft romance, like
uh-huh.
a really good love story, then I'll be like, okay, I needed that palate cleanser. Or if I can get a good paranormal, then I'll be like, okay, I needed that. But sometimes I be so far in the streets, I be wondering what is wrong with you. What, why are you in the streets so tough? I thought you left that life behind.
Palette cleansers are like they're good. I definitely need one after I've read something fucked up and I need to like assure myself when I go read a palette cleanser, like, okay, I'm sane. I'm
Yeah,
not crazy.
no, because
Like,
I know I be. Listen, I'm surprised that door's still hanging on the wall. My people know me because listen, I will slide the way I just slid. I just finished whose book was it? Misha Misha's her new book, Love Bomb.
yeah.
The amount of reaction video she got after I got the 57% in, and I realized what was really going on. I know she was sick of me. She just laughed. She thought that was funny.
Wait,
Like
who
that
was
was
this
funny.
again?
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Why am I up reading you? Why am I up reading you at 2 o'clock? Why can I not put this book down?
That'd be the best though.
It don't because I have to go to work.
True, true, true.
I
But
gotta
like
go to
I
work
love
in the
those books where I can put it down and I'm like falling asleep. Like I'll wake up and my like Kindle will be on my face like this.
yeah.
Like I love it. But I think it's because it's like it's so rare for me that that happens because I DNF like a motherfucker. I DNF like a motherfucker. Like I DNF more than I complete books, which is why like even now like I don't read a ton because I'll pick up a book, but I'll more than likely DNF it. Like if
And
I,
that's okay though.
huh?
That's okay.
Yeah. I don't feel no bad for it. And honestly, it doesn't mean I won't maybe come back later and try it again. It depends on the reason why I DNF. Because sometimes I'm just not in the mood for this book. Like this ain't the vibe I was looking for.
Right.
Or I'll just try another book by the author. Like it is what it is. DNF that damn book, girl.
And it don't. I don't know why. I know everybody wants their pages read. I know everybody want people to buy their books, and I get it. I don't. I read on my iPad or on my Kindle,
Mm-hmm.
and the books that I've read that I love, I buy. Unless I can't get the book. Like there was a particular book I couldn't get, and I was like, "Do you have this in ebook form? If not, I'm gonna have to crack the spine." I didn't want to crack the spine, so that's how I got. I don't have time to be walking around with a book. Let me listen to it. Do you got audio?
I
So,
was about to ask, do you listen to audiobooks?
hmm?
I was about to ask, do you listen to audiobooks? I can't like okay. Well, first of all, I haven't tried in like years, but I can't do audiobooks. I don't know.
Let
I
me tell
think
you
they
something. I just did Danielle Allen's book. Woo!
really.
The way I was cackling, I
I
cackled
feel
through
like
that whole book. It depends on the narrator, though.
I feel like narration might have come along. Like I need to give it a try again because narration might have come a long way since I last. Because the last time I tried, I think I tried to listen to 50 Shades of Grey. That was when 50 Shades of
We
Grey
can't
was
talk
like,
about them because they will ban us. No.
okay.
They will ban you and me.
Them gray books.
Yeah.
Like way back then. And I tried it and I haven't tried it since then because I was like, it
Oh,
sounded
they
so
come a long way.
mechanical, and I couldn't get into it.
Mm-mm.
And I never tried again. I
Mm-mm.
was just like, I just feel secondhand embarrassment. And then I tried to listen to my own, bruh. Bruh. It's even worse.
Who? But it depends on the narrator. Like I have my favorite narrators. I think that like Wesley Chavon, she is probably one of my favorite narrators. What's his name? Oh my God, Miles. Oh my God.
Let me ask you some. Oh, I'm on my phone. I'm like, I chose narrators for In the Gray, but because I don't listen to audiobooks. Like, I went and listened to like their voices and stuff, trying to like, let me see who I told Tantor I wanted. Because people been asking me about the audiobook for that.
Oh yes, we need that audiobook.
I told Tantor they wanted Elise Anthony, you know her?
Mm-mm.
They wanted her for Atlas, Midnight Michael for Rowdy, and
Oh
Jair
yeah.
Bush for Simone. I did one because there was that one chapter with Simone.
Midnight Michael is good.
He is.
Um,
Oh
I
shit.
don't know about the other ones.
I
I'm
came
gonna
back.
I'm gonna venture to say like a Nicole Small. I don't know if she's still a narrator, but I love her because she could do
Thank you.
she could do men and women voices.
So I came back and I told them for Rowdy, Miles Washington or Benjamin
Yes.
Charles. That's who I liked.
Yes.
When I went and I listened, I went on Audible and I listened to some narrators because I tried to find somebody who I could envision Rowdy. Like Rowdy was the hardest.
D. Lewis. Oh my God.
Huh?
D. Lewis, A. Lewis's husband, D. Lewis. Oh,
Really?
he would have bodied that. Midnight, yeah, him and Miles. Miles is he all that. Yeah.
For Atlas, I told them Nicole Small, Wesley Siobhan, or Ebony Flower.
All three of them.
Um, I told them Miles and Nicole were my top picks for Rowdy and Atlas. And I went with Jair Bush for Simone because it was just the one chapter. This was a month ago. I don't know if they contacted them or not. So I don't know if they're the actual narrators. I'm not confirming anything, but this is that's the list that I told them that I wanted.
Shannon said use D. Lewis.
D. Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like this was a month ago. So I haven't heard back from them about it after I emailed them that. So I don't know if they contacted them and cast them or not. Actually, I should send them an email and see if maybe they did get in contact with somebody. So I'm not confirming anybody because I don't know if they contacted them or not. So
Those are good choices.
Yeah.
If you want to add somebody else to it, D. Lewis is perfect for Rowdy.
Let me write him down then. So if neither of those narrators are available, or I can use them for like
other projects.
Yeah. Listen to audio of 12 Play. What's that?
You got to get the audio from 12 Play from Darlene Cunningham. She's the one that wrote 12 Play.
Okay.
She doesn't do it on Audible.
Yeah. Okay.
She'll get you a snippet.
Because I'm like, even though I don't listen to audiobooks, I do work hard to make sure I get the right person for the narration. Because I mean,
need a gritty voice.
Mm-hmm.
Right, for Rowdy.
Mm-hmm. I need somebody that's gonna deliver that like unhinged when he gets to talking shit and being a certified crash out. Like, but I couldn't get that from like any of the like samples I was getting because that's how they portrayed those characters. Mm-hmm. So I had to go based on voice alone, and I was like, okay, yeah, they sound good. But I sat there. I think I sat here for like 3 hours just cycling through narrators, going back and forth, trying to narrow it down. But yeah, we'll see we'll see.
Shannon, can you send her a message with D. Lewis's information? Because I think that would be he'll be a perfect Rowdy. All right, we're gonna ask you a few more questions. I'm gonna let you have your day back. With the current political climate, are you worried about the state of Black literature, especially why choose books, romance books? They trying to ban everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because if they succeed, not only am I out of a job, I'm also out of one of the things that has gotten me through my teenage years, my early adult life and even now, like we're going to lose something that gives us an escape and harms no one.
Right.
So absolutely. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I have been reading romance since I was 12, 13 years old. I think my first romance was Tempting by Susan Johnson. And then right after that I read what was it about Wahida Clark? I don't remember what was the first one she came out with. Every Thug Needs a Lady or Thugs and the Women Who Loved Him.
Right. Something like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I grew up on that since I was 12, 13 years old. Can you imagine living your whole life reading romance and then suddenly it's restricted or gone?
Yeah. I can. I can imagine that because that's exactly what I feel like they would love to do if they can succeed.
And I think about like the mental health of, like if I lose my job, that is going to be crushing, but I also worry more about the mental health of everyone who, relies on books for that escapism.
Exactly.
That gets them through hard times, that, helps them step out of this world and into another. And just, I think that would be even more devastating, not being able to deliver that and also not being able to have that myself. It's like losing a limb. You go your whole life being able to walk, being able to, and suddenly it's gone.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it. So
it's like your mourning. It's a mourning process. Where you've had something for your life for so long, and then you find it's like the death of something, a part of you. It's like, what do you really have left? It's like they're taking your very soul away from you. Because again, I'm not a big TV watcher. I probably have every damn app there is. I probably have every sports channel there is, and I don't watch it. Mm-hmm. Because I prefer to read a book.
Like, books are so much a part of me. I didn't aspire to be an author. This is not where I saw myself when I was thinking about what I wanted to do for a living. This is now, even when I wrote Fear Me, I didn't write Fear Me with the intention of becoming an author and selling it. I wrote Fear Me because, that was the book I wanted to read, and I couldn't find it anywhere, no matter how hard I searched. So I decided to write it. It was the thing after I got off from working in corporate America, I got off from my shift and I went home and I'd open my laptop and I'd write and I'd escape into the night with this. Like, it was reading, and books are so much a part of me that it became the very thing I relied on to survive, not just mentally, but also it keeps a roof over my head. That's how much it has intertwined with my very being, and to have somebody snatch it out just because it makes you uncomfortable.
It's sad. It's a sad. Everything that you do is okay, but anything that we do to find enjoyment in because you're trying to hurt us because of we're not worried about you and you're not the highlight of our lives. I'm talking about these lawmakers. Mm-hmm. You want to rip it from us because it goes against your core values. Don't read it. Mm-hmm. Being if a person wants to have more than one relationship, whether it be open, whether it be polyamorous, whether it be dark, or they want to be outside on their car getting it from behind. Mm-hmm. That's their business. Just move on. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like I have to see everything. Yeah. But whatever you do is what you do.
Exactly.
If I want to lay up in this window with the blinds closed, but that's where I like to have my relations, then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to have it right there in that window.
Now, have you had it right there in that window? Are you sure?
Yeah, you sure? Window.
Listen,
Not
I
in
was in
that
the
window.
fishbowl, okay? Like you see, like windows.
I've been in a window before.
So I go every day. I go because it's an apartment building right next to mine. Like I can see into the people apartment every day. I stand there just wishing and hoping that one day somebody would just say, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna do it up against this window so I can sip my tea and watch.
Hey, wait a minute. I have been in the window before.
I ain't never been in a window. I've done it in a hospital, but I ain't never did it in a window before.
I've never done that in a hospital.
Yeah, girl. Me and my ex-boyfriend, we went to go see his aunt. She had just had surgery. And apparently we had to get it in the surgical waiting room before we went in to go talk to her.
Yeah, I've been in the window. In the living room. I got a new couch now. It's not the same couch.
I have a new couch. I haven't had the chance to christen mine, girl, but
that couch hasn't been christened yet.
I don't know that. We will land a dude.
It is what it is. But I'm just saying, it's in the comfort of my own home. And if you was looking, then you saw something. If you didn't, you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
That is that. Okay, let me ask you a few more questions, and then I'm gonna let you pop your shit.
Mm-hmm. My t-shirt too.
Absolutely. It will be in the mail.
Okay.
Tomorrow, because I'm on vacation this week. What was the question I had? Okay, my favorite. So I have 3 favorite questions. What is your idea of the great American novel, and do you think you've written it?
My idea of the great American novel, I don't know. I'm not that well read. Listen, I went from Harry Potter to romance novels. Let me see. It could be a romance novel.
Listen, it don't matter what society thinks. It's what you think. Do you think you've written it?
No, not yet.
I'm gonna disagree.
You think so?
Let me tell you something. I was watching the reviews. I watched the reviews of In the Gray. I watched them reviews.
They were tearing me up in the reviews.
Mine.
I thought I was getting torn up in the reviews. I honestly been too scared.
Some did, some not. But it was, I can't believe. But you was evoking those emotions out of the people. Mm-hmm. Why do you think that I still remember that classic scene?
But you know what? I never want to get too comfortable. I'm always trying to chase being better than the last book. So I'm always trying to like push myself to evoke more emotions, to broaden more perspectives, to make I want your heart to pump. I want your blood to sing. That's what I want. And I never want to get too comfortable to the point that I get lazy. So I'll say my last book was my great American novel. And then the next one I write will be my great American novel. And then every book I write after that will be my great American novel. Because I just want to keep trying to be as better as I can, as good as I can, and be better than the last time. Because it goes back to what I said. I will not release a book, even if it's ready, even if I can make all this money now. If I can't stand behind it, I won't release it. It's part of the reason why I also take so long to write a book. Because I want to make sure I give my readers the best experience I possibly can. And if you end up hating it, that's just the way it goes. But
that's fair, though. That's a fair assessment. Because to me, I think Lilac is probably one of your better works. Mm-hmm. And let me say why, even though I didn't finish it. I was like, ooh, she's seeing some people. Wait a minute, let me come up. Are they on the bus?
I had you clutching your pearls.
Hold on.
But you didn't even get to that part yet, though, so it's crazy.
I did. I was like, is she on the bus? Wait a minute.
No. I'm talking about, I think it's chapter 55. The one that had everybody going crazy. You ain't even got to that part yet.
Just because I'm trying to. Okay, so this is what I want to do. I am curating my TBR list for off season,
Okay.
and I may not be able to get to both, but I'm gonna get to one of them. So you pick which one I read, Lilac or Crucible.
Do you like dark?
I
Do
like.
you have triggers?
Mm-mm.
Crucible will probably scandalize you more than Lilac will. If you want that, if you want to feel like, what the hell am I reading? Where am I? Lilac is really good, but Crucible is also really good. Crucible is like that. It's a Goldilocks retelling. Like, she's literally stuck in the middle of nowhere. It feels like a real adventure. Um, and it's fucked up. It's fucked up. Like, they keep her captive in the cabin just so they can like take turns having her, and she has to rely on them for survival in this like frozen wilderness. Like, it is definitely like Lilac gives you escapism, but if you really want to like slide down that door, Crucible.
Okay. It's that's part of my reading for 2 months. I got 2 months to read whatever I want to read.
Miss Chocolate Lover. Crucible, yes, it ends on the cliffhanger. It's the first of a duet. Chrysalis is coming out next month.
So am I be reading Crucible because it's coming out?
If you like, yeah, I would say like ask yourself when it's time if you want something dark or if you want a palate cleanser. So if you want something dark, read Crucible. But if you want something that's not gonna like, then just don't read Crucible on the plane because she was in a plane crash. That's how she ended up there.
I won't be on the plane reading that.
One girl read Crucible while she was on a plane, and I think she said they were taking off or something while like she was on the scene with the plane crashing, and she cussed me out.
Oh, no. I don't want to be on the plane read, so no planes. Listen, I'm over here really for real taking place. Do not read on a plane.
Yeah, she was on a plane when they I was like, "Oop, that was a bad choice. That was a real bad choice."
Yeah, but I really do have a TBR list, and I know that it's a lot of up and coming authors or authors who want me to review because that's what I do.
Do you get overwhelmed?
On my list, you got to give me. Listen, you're gonna have to give me a minute to get.
You get overwhelmed with like, I always wonder about that when all these authors are releasing and it seems like at the same time and everybody needs their review yesterday, and then you have to like you run into having to read a book when you're not even in the mood for it and then review it. Like, I can do it, so I applaud you.
FOMO, because everybody was talking yesterday about Danielle Allen's book, so I picked it up. I read it. I've read it, y'all. I'm part of Big Russ's fan club too. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. He ain't going on my body, or maybe he might. Who knows?
Maybe he might. I need to read Danielle Allen.
I loved. You know what? That was a palate cleanser for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was more. It wasn't like a lot of contentious behavior.
Mm-hmm.
I read a lot of, we unhinged over here. We batshit crazy. So I that was a relief from what I have been reading. So
yeah,
but review going up probably tonight. Couple more questions. What would your readers be shocked to know about you?
I ain't had sex in a while. Girl, I might have to break up with y'all for a little bit actually and get out there in them streets because this has been an embarrassing amount of time. Y'all take up too much of my time. I ain't got it in a minute. Probably why I've been struggling writing these books and getting no inspiration in real time.
I'm dead. Okay. I don't know if I'm shocked, but I'm surprised.
I know, right? I need to get out in the streets, Toya. I'm telling you. Y'all take up too much of my time. Like, how can I be writing books about romance and I ain't getting none?
I ain't getting it either. I ain't got it lately. It's been a good minute. No, not go out. Shannon.
Go outside. That's a lot. You asking for a lot, Shannon. He can come in here. Like, what happened to the good old days?
I don't want them to come in here because they'd be disturbing my peace.
Oh, true. I might have to, like, I don't even sage, but I might have to sage after that. Is that what they call it? Going outside is a lot of work. I gotta put on pants. I got on pants now. Oh, okay. Thank God. Thank God. Because I did get up early. I probably would have forgot. I don't wear clothes in the house. That's ghetto.
But you know what? I don't either. Only reason why I got on clothes, well, my son is home for one. But during the day when he's not here, I just don't have on nothing. I be in here working just in my underwear. He's like, "Are you gonna come on camera?" No, not today. It is what it is. Okay. Describe yourself in one word.
Chaotic.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say I agree with that, but I do.
Sloth. No, I'm not a sloth. I don't know. Indecisive. That's the one. Indecisive.
Really?
Didn't even decide what word to describe myself. Indecisive is perfect. It's perfect.
I'm gonna say I'm wishy-washy. Is that one word? 2 words?
Yeah, you are like not abbreviated.
Yeah, abbreviated, wishy-washy. I'm very wishy-washy. I don't care one way or the other. Name? No. Name something that everybody loves that you hate.
Social media.
Okay, that's fair. It's not your favorite.
Mm-mm.
All right. If you can invite 5 authors to dinner, who would they be? Dead or alive?
Ooh. 5 authors to dinner. Okay. I want to talk to Siobhan Latrice. I need to talk to her. Because, goddamn. Wahida Clark. Because when I say she had me stuck when I was a teenager, stuck. Trey, oh my God. Let's see. How many is that? 2?
2.
Damn, it's so many authors I don't even like anymore because they just turned out to be crappy. Listen, I used to have this list down pat. Now, Jane Washington.
Okay.
Just because I'm currently stuck on her series. No, I can't say that lady that wrote Harry Potter. We don't like her. What's another? I feel like there was another author. Shit, how many did I do? 3? All right, 2 more. Angel Lawson. It's kind of like a 2 for 1. Angel Lawson and Samantha. LaRue. They write Right Choose too. I love that series. I'm going for recent books that I have loved. I need one more.
Yeah.
God damn. You know what? That author, I don't remember her name from years ago. She never finished that goddamn series. It was like 10 years ago.
Ooh,
and I love those books. And she left us on the cliffhanger and she disappeared. I hope she alive. You said dead or alive.
Yeah,
so
who is it?
I can't remember her
What was
name.
it?
It's called It Is What It Is, A Hood Love Story. What's her name? I read them books a long fucking time ago. I need to talk to her because she disappeared. It is what it is, a hood love story. Ivory B. I knew it was a B in there.
Okay.
Hey, go read them books, but she ain't finished it. It's 2 books. Wait. Yeah, it's 2 books. The first one came out in 2013. The second one came out in 2015.
And you need
And
her to
I'm
back it
still
up.
waiting on book 3 to this day. To this day. So if I hope she's okay, but you said dead or alive.
That's
So I can ask her what the fuck her problem is.
Why you didn't finish this book? Because now I'm over here in limbo. Wait
Girl.
on me.
It was 10 years ago. I'm still hot about that.
Oh my God. I am dead. Okay. Last question. Well, second to last question. Who are 3 authors that you want to induct into the Author Hall of Fame?
Oh. Author Hall of Fame. I gotta give it to Kennedy Ryan because she a queen. I admire her so much. Who else? Beverly Jenkins is the queen too. Do you know I've ever never actually read a book by her though?
I have. It's shit.
Yeah. And it's so disappointing because she wrote a lot of historical romance, and I started reading historical romance, but my public library didn't stock her.
Wow.
Back then, yeah, back then, the black romance section was really small, but back then, obviously I'm a kid, I ain't got no money to buy books, so I could only get them from the public library. So to this day, I've never read her. I need to rectify that.
I started with Brenda Jackson. Brenda Jackson.
Her.
Huh?
I believe I read her.
Brenda Jackson and the Westmorelands. I read probably all of them. And then Frances Ray. She's my very favorite. And who else did I start with? B.B. Moore Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
I started with her. That's what made me fall in love with reading.
I'm gonna say Wahida Clark. It always comes back to her because when I say she had me in a chokehold, and I would also contribute a lot of my character types, especially heroes, and the type of stories to her. She had me in a chokehold. Social media won't even popping back then. This is MySpace days, but I did my best to stalk her. So just for nostalgia reasons, Wahida Clark, she had me in a freaking chokehold. And Beverly Jenkins, out of respect. Why are you saying to leave live? Beverly Jenkins, out of respect, I do need to rectify that and read her. I don't read historical. I know she got some contemporary work too, but I need to fix that. And they didn't like her.
You'll enjoy her if you like historical. I can't say it. Historical romance. There you go. You would love her. You would absolutely. Her pen is fire.
I bet.
Yep. All right. Last question, or not even question. Just what advice would you give to new authors?
Enjoy that time you have before you have readers, because you can write what you want. Ain't no pressure. Enjoy it, because it's going to be the freest time you have, where you have the freedom. You don't have anybody to disappoint. You don't have any expectations. You just get to enjoy the love of writing. And it's just about the writing. Fear Me will always forever be my favorite book I've ever written, just because it was my first. Just because I remember those days being 21 years old, coming home from work, opening my laptop, and just escaping into the story that I was creating. Enjoy that time, before you become a published author, because then it takes on a whole new meaning to you mentally. Just enjoy that love of writing. Even after you become a published author, enjoy the love of writing. Without that love of writing, none of it means anything. Because sometimes it'll be the only thing you have. You'll have books that fail. You'll have books that do well. You'll have books that do amazingly. But that love of writing will remain regardless. So enjoy it. Okay.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. So let's pop your shit now.
Pop
No,
pop. I need to pop some pussy. That's what I need to do.
I did. I, I wasn't ready. I was not ready for that one.
I like to make things come full circle.
We gonna pray that
Pray.
it comes along because it's about time. Okay, so you have a new release coming. Talk about it.
Oh, Chrysalis or Say So? Both?
Yeah. When are they coming out? When are there anticipated release dates? And what do you have coming out this year?
Okay, so Chrysalis is the next book I have coming out. The release date is slated for July 29th. I believe that's the date. It is the sequel and the finishing novel of the Men of the Wild duet. It is a Goldilocks and the Three Bears retelling. It is White Shoes. It is dark. It is delicious. It will change your life. And Say So, which is a Black FFM mafia romance. It's about two best friends. One of them is sold to marry the I call him the Prince of the Mafia, even though there isn't no prince. It just rings a bell. And her best friend who has to save her from him, but they both end up falling for him. That is also delicious as fuck. You should read it when it comes out. The cover is fire. You are going to love Ocean. He's so damn smooth. You ain't got no choice but to. But he also loves his girls. And that's all I'm going to say about it.
Okay, are you coming outside this year or next year?
This year, yes. I have 3 more signings. Next year, no.
So where will you be so they can come see you?
Huh?
Where will you be so they can come see you?
I got BB4E in Vancouver next month. It's June, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next month, and I have Wanderlust in October and Fort Brit Book Fest in Scotland in November. Next year, huh? Girl, they love me over there. I don't know why, but they do. Next year I will not be outside because I think I'm gonna start doing signings every other year, just so I can have that year when I focus on writing. Just like last year, I didn't do any signings, so I will not be outside next year. Y'all gotta catch me this year or the year after next.
Okay. And where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at _BB Reid. You can find me, my books on Amazon. You can find When Rivals Play on all platforms. You can find on Google Play, Barnes and Nobles. You can find Readerville is on Facebook. That is my reader group where you can find me anytime, hang out, talk to other readers about my books. That is the place to be. We are 7,000 strong. And you can find me on TikTok. Sometimes I'll be up here. I gotta do better with TikTok. I told you I don't get TikTok.
We're gonna get you together.
The TikTok confuses the shit out of me.
All you gotta
I
do
love you,
is follow the
TikTok.
people.
I'm playing. I love you so much, huh?
But all you gotta do is just follow the people, and I think once you start liking stuff, then that your algorithm starts changing towards the stuff that you're liking.
Oh, see, I'll be watching everything that ain't got nothing to do with books. That's my problem.
But you have to like some book stuff if you want to follow some book stuff, or like some of your followers. I mean, not your followers. Some of your authors or whoever you want to follow.
Uh
Then
huh.
you start seeing book stuff.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. Okay, so let me pop my shit real quick. It's gonna be real quick. So on Thursday I have Bella J pop your shit. Friday, I have to confirm with Miss Jazzy. I haven't gotten a confirmation yet. And then the following Sunday, I have to confirm with Sylvester Barzy. And then on Monday, the 23rd, I have Arthur's Son. So that's what's coming up on Pop Your Shit. I will have flyers up soon after I get confirmation. What else? Saturday, the 21st, we will be in Shannon's house doing our summer solstice vision boards for the last 6 months of the year. So if you're interested in listening to music, doing your vision boards, you don't have to show it, but we will be doing vision boards. I will be out of town, but I will be still participating. So if I can do it, you can do it. Just come listen, and that's that. Um, what else is going on? The end of Pop Your Shit is coming up. Season 1 is wrapping up the end of this month. So I also have Monique Good, Aria Days, as well as narrator D. Lewis and Cassie C.M. Campbell. They will be ending out season 1. Okay, season 2 will be announced on June 30th of when season 2 is going to start, which is going to be sometime in September. Follow me for more information for my PR company, PR and marketing company. Link is in the bio. I do art teams, street teams, and marketing plans. All right. Follow me on YouTube. Please like and subscribe because this interview in its entirety will be on YouTube. Instagram, Thread, Substack, Blue Sky. I am booked and busy on all platforms. Events. So I will be in Chicago at the Boozy Book Tour, October 17th through the 19th. Catch me. A time will be had. Mind your business. Don't be telling the internet what I'm doing. February, I'll be at the Boozy Book Tour at the Melanin Ball, the Pajama Jam, the Get Down. It's going down. Again, mind your business. Just come, have fun with me. I'm interacting, but mind your business. Don't be telling nobody. That is February 27th through March 1st. That's gonna be epic. So go to boozybooktour.com. I think they're .com now. The link is in my bio, I think. I have to update it. Yeah, the link is in my bio. I will be hosting the Cali Author Converse and Denim Book Takeover in Los Angeles, April 24th and 25th next year. This is powered by author Shelley P. It's going down. Okay. I will be Nicole during the whole process of hosting. But after that, don't follow me because I'm busy. So my event, I have an event I'm doing next year. The Napa Book and Wine Tour. This is a retreat, if you will. We will be doing some wine tasting. We will go to the oldest Black-owned bookstore in the United States, which is Marcus Books. So we will be doing a tour of Oakland, San Francisco. You guys know I'm a California native. I live here in the Bay Area. So if you guys are interested in something like that, save the date, September 4th through the 6th. We will have 3 days of a lot. And it's going down. And just know there's a lot of wine involved. Businesses that I support. Make sure if you're looking for a book club, the books we love to discuss, the link is in my bio. When I tell you that book club is the best, it's all about the books, no drama, just about the books. We pick a book, we read a book, and we discuss it online here on TikTok. The Geneva to join is in the link to join the Geneva is in my bio. Um, but the only rule is no drama. Because they don't care about your drama. They just want to talk about the book. If you're looking for another podcast, Black Girl Tired, Storm, that's my girl. That's my client. Make sure you follow her. You join in for her podcast. Um, if you Lady Creole, she has Catch the Bouquet. She will be doing. She has I think a roster already of who she's gonna have on her site on Instagram every Sunday, or I think it's every Sunday. Jaleesa Reid, she has podcasting on Instagram every other Monday. Make sure you guys tune into their page to find out who's going to be there. If you're looking for all Black sponsored events, like Black Romance, whatever events that are going on, my event is on there. Go to Book Me There. Jaleesa has every event that she knows about. If you're having an event and you want to put it on Book Me There, be very nice to her because she will be nice back into you in return and put you on her site for free. So, Book Me There is your source of all events that is going on in the Black literary community. Also, if you're looking for teas to turn your characters into teas, the Urban Tea Room, Natalie, is fantastic. Her teas are so good. They're loose leaf teas. She has over 150 blends. Her link is in my bio. If you're looking for sweets, desserts, because my big back ass just had it. Listen, the red velvet cake in a jar was perfect. I had the strawberry cookies, good. That damn snickerdoodle toffee, that shit is crack. Hella good. eSweets. Her link is in my bio. It's eSweetsND.com. Please check out Erica. If you're looking to get your book sprayed, Jess Turn Pages is your girl. She does beautiful work. Her link is in my bio. It's the Bibliophile Boutique. And if you're looking for editor, I can't forget my girl, Marked by Tylee. Okay? When I say she's edited for some of the biggest names out here in these indie streets, she has done it and her work is superb. Make sure you pay her wage because she's not doing it for the free. Last business I'm going to talk about is the Literary DFW, owned by Shannon. She is a Black girl who owns a Black woman that owns an online book store. If you're looking to get your book in a store and you can't get it on the shelves at the airport, at Barnes and Noble or whatever, she can get a copy of your book, Shannon is your girl. She will put your book in her bookstore. She also does spend a night with a book. Okay? Let me tell you something about that spend a night with a book. I got the Hutch Clutch. That Hutch Clutch came with a toy. That toy about took me out. I'm just saying, it about took me out. And there lies the problem with Shannon.
It was the rose?
No, it wasn't the rose. It was something else. Ooh. It about took me out. So
I was trying not to interrupt.
Shannon's Hutch Clutch. When I said this box, it looks like an Hermes bag. It's over there. I'm not gonna get up and get it because what I look like at the bottom is not cute. But it looks like a little Hermes bag, and it's packed with treats, bookmarks, stickers, socks, all kind of stuff.
Jennifer, what company was that? I guess
this is the Literary DFW. The link is in my bio. This is Shannon Beer. I read books. That is who that is. She does author merch. She does covers. She edits. She what else Shannon do? What she don't do? She do everything. There you go. The Literary DFW. That is her store. The link is in my bio. Click her page. Her page is in her bio. It's everywhere. So that's the last business I'm highlighting today. Thank you, ma'am.
You also made your goal. Yay.
Thank you, thank you, thank
I
you.
have no idea what any of it means, but I'm happy.
It's a dollar amount. So I can either buy more gifts to give somebody else, probably what I'm going to do, or I can cash out and it just goes to my bank account. That's all. That's it. It ain't that much money. It's a couple of dollars, maybe some coffee or lunch. Depends on. I did pretty good today. Some lunch, maybe some lunch. So, but I thank you so much for coming on with me. Um, your pen is
Stop, I'm gonna blush.
no, it is lethal and beautifully. It's a beautiful pen because the way that you describe stuff is beautiful. It'd be the most horrible situation, but you make it sound so melodic. That's it. That's your beautiful. Your pen is melodic.
Thank you.
I love that. I
Don't
love
say
your,
too much,
love
it'll
it.
go to my head. I already got a big head.
It's all right. It's all right. It's well deserved. It's well deserved, ma'am. Here's your. They giving you your flowers. I appreciate you so much. Stop at Skittles. My dog wants what he wants, and he can't have one. Um. So I appreciate you for spending time with us today. The video will be up on YouTube. I will be posting videos now. I think I got like 5 videos to post, so your video will be up between today and tomorrow.
Okay. Make sure you send me the link so I can share it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so
Thank you for
much.
having me.
All right, y'all. I don't know who house is getting ready to open, but it might be Shannon, might be Storm. I don't know. Look, I just opened up their house. They don't even. They probably say
Right. You'll probably catch me in the comments scrolling if trolling if I can't sleep.
so. Somebody might open up their house tonight. It might be me. I don't know. So if it's me, it'll be another 45 minutes or so. But
Okay.
thank you so much, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Happy reading.
Now, how I get off this thing?
Okay, so I'm
Well,
gonna
I
drop.
click the X.
Yes.
Oh, wait. At the top. Oh, yeah. See, I'm so old.
There you go. Bye, y'all.